Hey guys, we're live on the moon. Spooky moon. Early Monday morning, 3:40 a.m. Another all-nighter for Bill. 5/14/2012. The moon only rose a little bit ago, and I've seen so many changes in this moon. I thought I'd turn this camera on. There's been a haze. There was a haze around the moon, and you can see the haze working on them. I'm going to let it sit here, and it's just amazing the way this moon changes color and then goes back. And you can, I think, from this kind of see how with the light hitting the moon, it either brings out the color or subdues it. A little bit ago, just about 10 minutes ago, this entire moon was kind of just like a flat, and then all of a sudden it came out, and that means the mist kind of dropped. And there are some really interesting things to look at in this moon. If you watched my video last night, you can see now what has happened. The shadow line is creeping south on the moon. And, that's just what it does. It moves all the time. A lot of astronomers, they think the moon is just a real dead planet, and it's not interesting to watch at all because all you see is the same thing. Well, that is just, now see, you can see a little bit of the color coming out. See Ascartes on the left there? I'll center it. Centered, kind of. And if I bring up the color just a little bit more, you can see some of the, it actually looks like when you look at Ascartes that it's got hills. And you're looking at the and you're looking at the Ascartes is I want to center it exactly. Pretty much centered. Let me zoom in a little bit. That's a better picture. See Ascartes? It's a very strange crater, and I've seen it. You can see the kind of the mountains to the left, and the mountains to the left. Look at how the clouds are coming. Isn't that really pretty? This is a spooky moon, guys. We got hooty owls out there hooting, dogs braying, wolves howling. This is a night of ghosts and haunting things. A spooky moon. Anyhow, I gotta get on that. Anyhow, I've looked at Ascartes many times. And one time I had a fabulous close-up of it. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Ascartes is centered. See, it's a little bit, but you can see the seas around, the color, and you can even see those black dots. Aren't they interesting? They're all little craters. And see how they're coming out, and the light changes and it all comes out. And see, isn't that a beautiful picture, guys? And here I was looking at this thing about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago now, and it looked like, boy, this is going to be a really dull night because it's just flat. I couldn't bring out any color, and then all of a sudden the color just jumped out at me. And that's the way it is with this moon. Astronomers are looking at this thing and they're saying it's a dead planet. There's no excitement. There's nothing. Let me tell you, that shadow line. Now, look at that. Look at Copernicus. Okay? Let's take a look at this picture. You guys don't realize what I'm showing you. This stuff. This is the stuff dreams are made of. Astronomy you got a you got three large craters. You got one in the upper right. What is that? That's Copernicus. Copernicus. You got Kepler at the large crater with the kind of the paintball deal. That's Kepler at the 6 o'clock. And then opposite Copernicus on the at the 9 o'clock, you have Aristarchus. And quite frankly, it just blows you away. Let me make sure I always mispronounce this crater. Aristarchus. Aristarchus at the 9 o'clock. I call it Aristarchus. I got a weird pronunciation for sometimes things. Aristarchus crater at the 9 o'clock position, which looks like it always has a tail, which looks like a riverbed, and then you got the mountains. Okay, let me knock the brightness up a little bit, and let's kind of go over. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Now, I mean, no color on the moon. You're crazy. Loony, you loony guys. I was talking about the astronomers. Most of the people that don't like my videos are astronomers because they don't like to see the color. And they don't like to see all this high definition video coming from the moon when nobody should be able to do that. Look at Copernicus. It actually looks kind of 3D because it's up in the air. And you can tell the difference between tonight and last night. Just I was looking at Copernicus close. But see, it doesn't look so much better tonight. Why is that? That is because the shadow has moved. Sometimes I have a tendency to talk, and you kind of lose track of what I was talking about before because I see something that interests me. But the shadow, my whole point on the astronomers, it's a dead planet. The shadow moves. The shadow moves and is never in the same place over an 18-year period. Where you see that shadow right now next to Copernicus, it will never be there, never, in 18 more years. So you're never going to see the light angled on Copernicus quite the same way. That's why every night that I come up here on the moon, it's an adventure. It's high adventure. You just never know what you're going to see. Now look at that. Isn't that stunning? Look how Aristarchus is. It's the green. It's got to be trees on top. Got to be trees on top of that mountain. That's all I got to say. I don't believe it, but it looks like it. Okay, it absolutely looks like it. Look at the 9 o'clock position. Look at Aristarchus crater, and then you got that mountain range that always seems to be brown, kind of brownish. The mountains stick out as well when you look at them next to the shadow line, as you can see down by Copernicus. Let's this is turning out to be an absolutely incredibly beautiful moon. And when I started this thing, I said, damn, it's going to be I couldn't bring out any color. And now all of a sudden, because the light is the key, guys. The light hits the moon at a certain angle, and I can bring out, the color just jumps out at you. And that is Plato-centered. Let me see if I can do something with that. I had this picture yesterday, and I said I couldn't do anything. I'm going to just turn everything off, and I can go manual on this thing and bring out anything, and that's exactly what I'm going to do up here. I'm going to shut the exposure down. See how when I do the exposure, then I can control it better. Yesterday I didn't look at it in detail because I didn't control it like that. But really, there's not too much worth looking at. That is half of Plato. Let's just zoom into Plato like that and see what we can see. And let me turn the color down a little bit to get rid of the sparkles. And but you see, we do have atmospherics working against us, so we can't see too much. I'll turn the auto back on. And see, that is Plato right there, that large crater centered right now, half of it. And on the left, right there, that is the coastlands. And see, as I turn the color up, see how just the Mars jump out at you guys. You can look and you can see all of the nuances of the Mars that you just couldn't see before. Look at that. We had a UFO, a real slow fire. Did you see that, guys? It went about on the screen from the midsection right, 2 o'clock, moving horizontal left. Absolutely slow speed until it went off. Clearly that was a hunk of ice. I have guys that watch my videos just to watch for UFOs. And I don't blame them. This is a good telescope. And when I get in there honing in on the moon and I'm focused in a certain plane up there, you're going to see them if they're in that area. And that's exactly what's happening. You're seeing, I don't think there's any way that those things are in our atmosphere. You know, but you can believe what you want to believe. Now, isn't that beautiful? I think that shot right there haunts me. That if you recall, a lot of my videos, I'll hone in on this Copernicus and Kepler, and I'll do a paint job because it looks like blotched paint. But never have we seen Copernicus jump out at us. And look at Aristarchus on the left with all the green and everything. I mean, browns. I say green, brown. I'm colorblind. Brown and green look the same color to me. I can see blues and yellows and. Okay, let's continue. This is beautiful. This ended up being a very, very, very beautiful moon. And look at it is spooky. Look how you got the clouds kind of going over. You know, just the there's my alarm clock going off. You can't hear. My sleeping schedule is really screwed up because of this moon stuff. Especially when the moon stays out all night, then I really get screwed because I got to stay up all night or if I'm going to get the moon. And usually I'll sleep during the day. I'll sleep in the mornings. And that's exactly what I normally do. But for some reason, well, I know this morning I went to church. So when I go to church, I screw up my schedule. Okay, what is that on our centered kind of right there? That's our friend Clavis again. Let's zoom in on Clavis. But you can see it's the atmospherics. Clavis is that crater with 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can, well, let's zoom back out. Zoom back out a little bit and let's see if we can focus it better. I'm really taken though with how the moon changed. It's too bad I didn't get that on video. The moon was absolutely kind of flat, just like I've shown you before, where you don't see below the surface. All you see is the gray, and it just looks flat. And then all of a sudden, within a minute, it changed to full glory color, where you can see below the Mars and everything. And it all has to do with the way the light hits the moon. Isn't that absolutely stunning, guys? Absolutely stunning. We are running out of moon here in about 2 or 3 days. It's going to be a slither, a slither, and unless a UFO flies over a slither, it's not too much worth looking at. But I look at it. There's another one, guys. Let's zoom in here and see if we can see anything else. There's an area, by the way. Let me tell you about it. A friend of mine wanted me to look at Copernicus yesterday, and I'll send her Copernicus, even though it doesn't look like it's worth looking at. I'll tell you what is worth looking at, if you can see. See, when we get in close, it's just not. Copernicus is to the left of that large crater that is centered. See that? Yeah. See that crater that's centered right now? To the immediate left is Copernicus. Well, between Copernicus and that other crater, guess what, guys, is a blocked out area that NASA has on all the moon maps. So there's a secret down there. And look how the moon is spooky again. See how the clouds are coming in over there? Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely stunning. By the way, if a bird did fly in front of this telescope and it was far out, I would see it. I can see clouds. But if a bird flew within I'd say 200-300 feet of this telescope, I wouldn't see anything. Just the reason I told you put your hand in front of the telescope, it's a light gathering instrument. But you go out far enough and you'll see it. But I'm convinced that what we're seeing here, these things flying around, just are up in the moon's atmosphere and are not in our atmosphere. Stunning picture, stunning picture. Okay, there's another crater that I wanted to hone in on right there. I was looking for it, but he's kind of hidden in the shadow line. Let me bring up, see how it's kind of hidden, but if I turn down the contrast and turn up the brightness, see how I can bring it out a little bit? See that crater right there? That is the crater we're going to look at next. Let me try to center it. And that crater is the one that's at the base of the Alps. And his name is Aristarchus. Aristophanes, named for Aristophanes, the Greek astronomer and geographer from 276 to 196 BC. So you watch my videos, you get so damn smart you don't know what to do with the information. Okay, let me see the color's up, so I'm going to put those bars on the right. Let me turn the color down a bit. Get rid of that. And let's turn the brightness down a little bit. See, it's just, I turned the color all the way down. Well, let's see if we can do that again. This camera will trip in. It's kind of like a audio amplifier will kind of engage, or a transmission, automatic transmission will automatically engage the next gear if it senses. And at the shadow line there is a plethora of different colors and lights. Just like when you get to the very edge of the moon, you see sometimes you'll see it'll turn yellow on you or something because the sun is hitting it. Okay, see, the color is completely off right now. That's what most astronomers would see. But when you turn up the color about 30 or 40%, see how it just brings out it's kind of like 3D. You can kind of see below the surface of the Mars. And if there's kind of like see the Aristarchus crater, you know, you can see the mountain range that seems to be, it seems to be brown. I mean, so this is really, really neat. Okay, well, I guess that's going to do it for this. I think I've showed you everything I wanted to show you on this session. See how the color right there on the Mars kind of flat, you know, and then that's what it was looking like at the very beginning before I turned the camera on. It was just, there was no color at all. And then I kind of watched, I think the mist went away. I'm not out on the porch, I'm inside. But, and that has got to be the shot of the day right there. Anyhow, have yourself a super duper week, and there will be a period here when we stop seeing the moon, when it goes dark on us. But we'll get back on the backside whenever it picks up, and who knows? Maybe we'll get on to it tomorrow night if the weather's clear. In the meantime, wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.